college. I like to always say to our community that this is your community college. So I do welcome all of our community members, all of our family, and all of our families and all of our current students. Our HBCU pathway, which we'll be talking about today, has really been an exciting program for us to develop, create, and just even talk about, because it allows us to match our mission of access with historically Black colleges and universities. And so when we think about the fact that at Washtenaw Community College, more than 70% of our students come here with the intention to transfer, our job is to make sure that those students have clear pathways to a four-year institution, but also to an institution that is going to help them be successful in their academic careers. So one of the things that we talked about early in developing this program was that this is a natural relationship, that we have a relationship with HBCUs because they support and do the things that we do here at a community college in regards to our mission. We are the first in the state to have a relationship like this for undergraduate students. And I want to welcome all of our partners who are here and thank them kind of for jumping feet first in with us with this idea, because our goal ultimately is to change the lives of the communities that we serve. And we want to do that through academic success. So I welcome you to our campus. Please relax, listen to our guest today. Dean Eric Reed is going to tell you a bit about our program, but we're really excited. We look forward to your questions, and please, ask us questions and, ideas that you might have in regards to what you're trying to pursue or your students are trying to pursue, because we're here to help you be successful. So again, thank you all for coming, and I am going to turn it over to Dr. Reed, and enjoy the rest of the evening with us.
All right. All right, can everyone see the first slide? Are we good? Okay. Well, good evening. Good evening. Dr. Eric Reed, Dean of Student Equity and Inclusion here at WCC, Washtenaw Community College. For all of our, partners, and if you're not from around the area, Washtenaw Community College is about 40 miles from Detroit in Michigan. We are very happy to talk about this work we've been working on for the last several months. So we introduce you to the HBCU pathway. So I just have a few slides just to talk about the overall partnership. If you've received information, you've probably seen it in the news or maybe through an email, or if you're from a high school, local high school, you've received some information, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail today. And then you actually will be able to hear from our initial partners about their institutions as well. So just to start off, why did we want to do this? We just wanted to provide an additional pathway to specifically our HBCUs. And I'll talk about a little bit about the value in a few more slides, but we've been working with students by one, going to different schools, and some students have went to HBCUs in the past and everything, but this is a clear-cut, defined pathway. There's no guessing or no confusion about the process. There's aligned agreements set up with these institutions where if you complete these steps in our pathway, you will be at HBCU. One of the reasons for this is exposure. Many students coming out of high school, usually if you're going to HBCU, you might have from Michigan, you might have a uncle or aunt or a relative that went to a HBCU, but many students don't have that relative that went to one. So we want to provide that exposure and that awareness, and then that opportunity, which is our three pillars I'll talk about a little bit later. So this is a clear-cut pathway, a comprehensive relationship. So it's not just an articulation agreement, because like I said before, we've helped students go to the HBCUs, and many other institutions in Michigan have also done this. But this is the first in Michigan where it's a comprehensive, warm handoff. So we're talking about support. We're talking about making sure you get the exposure and connecting with the individuals to be successful, both here and there. So I think it's really important for everybody to know the legacy and the history behind HBCU. So we don't want to assume that everyone knows the value. So I'm just going to play this quick 2-minute video by Dr. Henry Louis Gates.
Before the Civil War, educational opportunities for free Black children, particularly in higher education, were quite limited, even in the North. Some students, however, managed to leap over the hurdles standing in their way. John Chavis, a free Black man from North Carolina, was the first African-American college student. Chavis studied as a private student under the president of the College of New Jersey, now known as Princeton University, and continued his studies at Liberty Hall Academy in Virginia. In 1862, Mary Jane Patterson became the first African-American woman to receive a bachelor's degree when she graduated from Oberlin College. Patterson became a teacher and then the first Black principal at the Preparatory School for Negroes, now known as Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. Before the Civil War, discrimination against Black students led to the founding of the first Black colleges in the North, including Wilberforce in Ohio and Lincoln and Cheney universities in Pennsylvania.
Cheney University in Philadelphia is the first historically Black college or university. It was founded in 1837 as the Institute of Colored Youth. The founding of that institution transforms educational possibility for African American people.
The era saw huge growth in the number of Black colleges and universities, from Howard and Fisk to Hampton and Tuskegee.
Historically Black colleges and universities take African Americans who struggle in our failing public schools and turn them into a rigorous scholar with access to a future who has earned the credentials for a college degree.
HBCUs arose as a direct response to racial discrimination, providing opportunities for Black students to gain a higher education and enter the middle class. According to the New York Times, HBCUs make up only 3% of the colleges across the country. And yet, at least 50% of Black doctors and 80% of Black judges have graduated from their classes. There remains a significant racial gap in degree attainment, but this gap is shrinking thanks to these Black institutions and to increased Black enrollment in historically white colleges and universities.
All right.
Before the Civil War.
All right. So in the video, you'll hear him. He talked about segregation, and he talked about desegregating. And then HBCUs providing an opportunity for education. So we've come a long way. And from what you'll see on this slide is our Vice President Kamala Harris. If you don't know, she went to Hampton. Dr. Martin Luther King, Morehouse, Oprah Winfrey, and many other figures and celebrities on this slide, and even more than these individuals too. So, we've came a long way. And from my research, as of recently in 2018, HBCUs confer over 48,000 degrees every year. So we've came a long way of achieving that goal. But we are still trying to, decrease the racial graduation gap too. So this initiative will help in a number of ways, broaden the opportunity for our students of color, and then even other students that might not be African American or a minority still do choose to go to HBCUs as well. But HBCUs are more than just the culture. We know there's a strong tradition of the marching bands, and then it's more than the celebrities that you've seen on the slide. If you don't know, out of all the institutions in the country, HBCUs only make up 3%. However, that 3% is a mighty 3% because it graduates more than 25% of STEM majors that are African American, and then 20% of all African American graduates. So that's a legacy piece. First generation college students, when we're talking about salaries, increasing salaries and matching that with non-first generation students, doing a lot for first gen students. And then lastly, for this slide, we're talking about sense of belonging and support. So there are many other factors that play into the value of why HBCUs are so important. So why ask, why did we WCC think that this was important? Why did we want to create this partnership with HBCUs? Number one is we have the same mission. Community colleges were founded, if you don't know, based off of open access, providing access to people who have been excluded from the higher ed system. you've seen in the video, that's exactly what HBCUs have done. We have similar populations, predominantly African-American populations, first gen, low income. So very similar problem. And then lastly, we're both about affordability. Our partners that we started this relationship with, we did some research. We were very intentional in seeing that affordability was a key factor, looking at the tuition rates of the institutions. And when I was doing my research, I met with several individuals through the Thurgood Marshall College Fund and the United Negro College Fund. And they mentioned to me that, there's some college HBCUs that you can actually save and spend less money sending them to the HBCUs versus keeping them in state at our university. So nothing against our university, but that's the actual fact that we've seen in our research. So both about affordability, we know the community college, depending on your economic background, it could be little to none debt that you might accumulate. So access, the populations, and affordability are key in this relationship. So there are three main pillars that I mentioned early. We want to provide more awareness and exposure. We think that that's one of the main reasons why more individuals have not chose to go to a HBCU coming out of Michigan, is because there's a lack of awareness. There are community individuals that do college tours. I've done college tours in my past, but sometimes it's not as consistent of that exposure. There are college fair nights that we have, HBCU college fair nights that happen per district. So depending on the district, there might be that opportunity, but we want to provide consistent exposure. So we're going to partner. We've already started partnering with our local school districts, doing workshops, visits. Some of our partners have even mentioned coming to here during this pandemic, during the midst of the pandemic, to visit and provide additional awareness and exposure events as well. So, and at some point when it is safe to do so, we're going to travel and go do some college tours and some visits of our partners too. But in the meantime, during this time where we're trying to remain safe, we still want to provide exposure. So we know that our partners that are here now, and even more of the other HBCUs, have alumni chapters that are in Detroit that represent Michigan. So those alumni, we're going to have them do workshops with us, career readiness workshops, leadership, professional development, and then even visit them on their occupations to learn about their careers, and then so they could share their personal testimony on why they chose to go to a HBCU. So awareness is a huge factor. The next thing is just the opportunity. So the opportunity that you have here tonight, whether you're a current prospective student or a community member wanting to share more about this, these partnerships that we've created provide guaranteed admission. So to sum it up, basically, if you complete your associate's degree here at WCC, you will receive guaranteed admission to our HBCU partners. It also offers in-state tuition in that too. So there is no discrepancy in the transfer of your credits to our partners. We've reviewed all of that. We looked at course to course. There are particular majors that we've set agreements with. So based on those majors, you receive guaranteed admission to go there. Application fee waivers, and then leadership development. So this is very important to me and our staff here at WCC. We want to not only make sure that you're getting there, we want to make sure that you're doing more than just existing there. We want to make sure that you're a leader there, that you're thriving on that campus. So we want to build some leadership, get you involved here on campus while you're here at WCC, put you through our leadership programs, our mentors, our community HBCU alumni that'll be mentors. So when you get there, you're not lost. You're actually taking leadership roles and engaging in that college campus life there. And then lastly, the support. Here at WCC, we have success coaches, our advisors. We have a number of different communities, our STEM Scholars Program, our Alpha Scholars Program. That's a whole nother talk during a different evening. But we have support networks. Our Office of Diversity and Inclusion, we will have staff that will support you throughout your time being here to make sure that you're not only meeting that transfer agreement to qualify for the guaranteed admission and other benefits, but just to make sure that you feel like you belong here. And then we're working with our partners to make sure you have that same experience there. So, so you're introduced to those coaches, those mentors, those clubs that you need to be a part of there. I mentioned the in-state tuition there. We've already made these agreements with these partners specifically because of the affordability, but it's even more affordable when you're in state too. So, that's a key benefit. And lastly, as we are launching this, we're talking with individuals and organizations in the community that might want to provide financial support specifically for you to attend those HBCUs. So we're doing some fundraising to support our students in attending their school of choice. So to begin our partnership, we have Jackson State University, Mississippi Valley State University, and Southern University of New Orleans. And each of them are here tonight to share more information about their schools. And we'll be adding more schools as the year goes on too. So we are so excited about our partners, and I can't say thank you enough more. These last several months, we've been meeting and working together to create this partnership and this vision. And we're so excited. I can't wait till we have the first group of students show up to each of those campuses. So I mentioned before, we've had students that have went to HBCUs in the past. And, I just had a chance to meet one of our former WCC students who actually went to Morehouse. He shared his testimony. So I think it was important to feature him. He's an attorney here in Detroit, and then also a pastor here. So Devon spoke very highly of both his experience at going to an HBCU and at WCC. So we have other students that I've met over the last several weeks that are also alum that are at HBCUs as well. So we want to continue this tradition. So then, you can reach back out and help more students come. So this is going to be a whole pipeline network. So we're partnering with the local school districts. Then you're coming here, and then you're going to the HBCU, and then we have our alumni reaching back to help out throughout the whole process. So if you do want to get involved, if you want to become a participant, you'll need to go to our website. It's at the bottom, wccnet.edu/diversity. If you go to the HBCU page, there's the interest form. Complete the interest form, and then I'll be following up with you to learn more about your interests, and then talk to you about the other workshops that we'll have, and then get you enrolled and make sure that you meet with advisors, so you're doing the right degree program and everything else. So if you register this semester, we'll have a couple workshops, but next semester we'll be officially have you meet with the advisor to make sure everything is transferable. There might be some students out there that are close to finishing, and you'll be eligible to go to the HBCU as early as next fall semester. So, get with us soon so we can make sure that you're doing everything you need to do to meet this agreement.